Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Mischa Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within. Well, I interviewed Debra Silverman yesterday and am getting the episode up tomorrow because she was pretty adamant that I help promote her her astrology classes that are coming up that look awesome. And what is so interesting about that to me is that it's the first time I've come across somebody that I've interviewed that A, was really in promotion mode, and B, very adept at it. And you'll hear throughout the interview as she references and her trainings that are coming up. And I say that with admiration and love. Like, she was showing me how to effectively promote your content. So Debra Silverman, for anybody that doesn't know, is an astrologer for 44 years and also a psychotherapist for almost that long. And I was asking originally if she would speak on my summit and went back and forth with her booking agent who works for her, and who was a super nice guy. His name was, what is his name? I have it written down. Anthony. So Anthony was super cool, and we had a lot of fun. And he gave me a copy of her book, The Missing Element, to read, which I read. And The Missing Element was awesome. But it seems like, well, it was pretty interesting, man. And I'm going to tell you a few things why. One, Debra asked me, this part isn't on the interview because I hadn't hit record yet, but our pre-interview was super fun. And she's like, how'd you track me down? Or how did I end up on this interview with you? And, I told her I was asking her to be on my summit, and it ended up that we were just going to do this episode. And so right before the episode starts, before the episode starts, she's talking to me about her training that's coming up, and she's back into doing readings and trainings and all this sorts of things. And so maybe not so much readings, but she's doing some client work and training astrologers and doing sorry, this is a bit rambly. I was not quite sure how to tackle this episode, but I just had to hit record and go. So yes, she is currently doing astrology classes online, and you can be a normie like me, or perhaps an astrologer and go more in depth. They do look like a lot of fun. But she was clearly in promotion mode. And then she asked me before it starts, the episode, the recording, what's your audience size? And you, my lovely audience, I have a limited audience size at the time of this recording. And she has a fairly large following. She has like 165,000 followers on Facebook. And, some of her clients are like Sting and Madonna. I'm not sure if she's still working with them, but she's worked with them in the past. You can go see this on all her content. So this isn't hush hush information, but I said, well, I've got 7 or 8 thousand downloads since I started my podcast. And she said, well, when did you start your podcast? And I said, oh, 6 or 7 months ago. And I think she was a bit disconcerted, or it could have been in my head. I don't know, but I took it as, yes, she was disconcerted. So away we go. And it was probably one of the craziest interviews that I've had so far. Crazy in that I'm usually pretty good at sussing out, thought streams from people, but it felt like consistently shut me down. And perhaps I was shutting her down. And hello, Train. What I feel like too, there was like some crossed paths. I was under the assumption that the book was new, this missing element book, but it turns out it's 5 years old. And so I'm talking as if this book is new. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I see this now in hindsight. And then also some of the things I referenced from her content that's online is also older than I was aware. So I think she may have felt, and again, this could have been in my head, that I was behind the times. But no matter. She is an astrologer. My hair triggered her, or so it seems. My Leoness definitely bore a reaction. And so we had this interesting back and forth. And I don't know. What can I say? She's very concerned. What she wanted to talk about was the state of the environment and how perhaps the environment as we know it is officially done and will be done within 7 years, according to Richard Attenborough on his Netflix special. And I am not here to dispute that. And I actually wouldn't be surprised. And I don't talk about that much because I think enjoy the moment. And, I try to do the best I can to be environmentally conscious and to slip more and more into minimalism, to drive less, to reduce the use of packaging, to recycle as much as possible. I've got a long way to go, but I am absolutely conscious of it and trying it. But I also tend to be a bit fatalistic about it, where I'm definitely nervous for my kids and future generations. And I definitely believe that within the next 10 to 20 years, oh yes, things are going to be dramatically different. The bluffs that between myself and the ocean could absolutely disappear, and I might have what do you call it, shore break view, a beach view. And all we can do is laugh, and she was in a mood, man. And yeah, so that was it. I tend to be more ambivalent and wanting to have fun, and she was wanting to, stir up some emotion to entice people, I believe, to take some action. And I think her book talks about that too. So that's what I was like, yeah, your book talks about that, but the book's 5 years old. So anyway, I was ambivalent and
talking in metaphysical terms about how humans are myopic and we think we're special and we're probably going to be gone soon anyway. So what's the big deal? And she wasn't having it. And so back and forth we went, me trying to stir conversation, her feels like being frustrated. But I could be wrong. And I haven't listened to it again. And I'm so busy with the summit that I'm going to leave it to you, the audience. So take a listen to the episode, which will drop tomorrow. So I'm doing this episode live now. The interview drops, interview 25, Jostling with Debra Silverman drops tomorrow. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Was it all in my head? Was I just in my about the jostling with Debra, and we were actually having good dialogue, or was it a puffing of the chests? That's what I've got. Oh, also, don't forget to go to toolsforagoodlifesummit.com, toolsforagoodlifesummit.com, and register for my summit. There's not a lot of information on the pre-registration page, which will soon be an official registration page. But nonetheless, you can sign up for the summit, which will be free. So sign up, people. I've been putting a ton of work into it. Love to all.
Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.